Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar 𝗤𝘅 and we talk about the upcoming elections, what is going to be the strategy of the NDA and many other things. A small request to all of you to please like this video like right now so that we can have the best chance of going viral. Let's welcome Shekhar 𝗤𝘅. Shekhar ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram, how are you sir?
Namaskar, Ram Ram, Shree. I'm good. And it's 10 days since the parliamentary election results were declared in India. And since then, we have been seeing people trying to figure out what really went wrong for the BJP, what went wrong for Modi, and where did the Congress get it right. And we have seen in the last week criticism coming from even top RSS leaders as to what probably went wrong for the BJP. And Congress enjoying it in one hand, and in fact, depending on RSS criticism of the political situation to back up their claim that we have been telling you so for a long time. On the other hand, Congress is in a very upbeat mood, sir. I mean, they feel that they have achieved something, it's something like an Himalayan feat. They've climbed the Mount Everest. But things are not that hunky-dory exactly. Actually, that's what we'll be taking up in detail as to why is the Congress right in feeling overconfident about the situation. And apart from the electoral challenges that are ahead for Prime Minister Modi. And also, we will also look at the other issue, which will be our third item, which is going into detail as to what exactly is happening between the BJP and RSS, because there has been so much being talked about and so many people giving their views on or trying to read between lines as to what RSS Sanchak Mohan Bhagwat's comment, followed by another RSS functionary, Indresh Kumar. We'll get into all that, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's start with the first one. Maharashtra, Bihar, Haryana, and Jharkhand polls are coming up in 3-4 months' time. So they need to start their preparation in right earnest right now. The most important one, of course, is Maharashtra and Bihar. This is because of the size of these two electorates. And what are they going to do? Maybe Bihar is a little bit easier for them this time around, but Maharashtra poses a huge conundrum. And now what we are hearing is that the sympathy factor that has been with the MVA could carry them through comfortably across the line. So this is just essentially missteps, according to me, by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Their overzealous attitude to try and say, look who I am, look what I can do, that sort of stuff. They broke Shiv Sena. I think everybody accepted that, yes, that might be right. But I think the last straw on the camel's back was, I'll let you finish that line, sir, and then we can, yeah, I'll let you go with it, sir.
Indeed, the several things which they should not have attempted and which did not bear fruits. Getting turncoats to come in, getting them to contest elections, none of them really helped, whether it was in Uttar Pradesh or in Maharashtra or in other states. Now, to start with, sir, in terms of one thing is getting clear, because last few days there was a lot of buzz about that some approach has been made to Uddhav Thackeray, that probably Uddhav Thackeray could come over to the NDA side, because this time in the Lok Sabha elections, NDA has the NDA, particularly in Maharashtra, both 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 𝗫𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤𝙪 as well as 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 𝗫𝙧𝙤𝙪 have not done well. So has the BJP. So there was a lot of talk that some back channels are open for Uddhav Thackeray to probably come to the NDA. But that thing got completely discounted today, because Uddhav Thackeray held a press conference in the company of Sharad Pawar and the Congress leaders to say that this alliance, that is their Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance, is strong, and they are this very alliance will face the next assembly elections. And The third point is they are not going to let those who want to come back to easily come back. I mean, they will probably look at individual leaders who want to come back, because there's a lot of talk of Ajit Pawar's MLAs wanting to head back home, since Sharad Pawar has shown that he still dominates the scene. And similarly, there could be people in Eknath Shinde's camp who may feel that it is better to go back if Uddhav Thackeray commands some support and sympathy. So, I mean, one thing is clear: Uddhav will not return to NDA. Two, their alliance, it looks like they wish to go as it is, that is Congress, Shiv Sena, and Sharad Pawar's NCP. There is no change in that, which means the challenges in Maharashtra are going to be very severe. Because, sir, if you look at what happened in Maharashtra in 2014, the BJP had won 122 seats by itself, 122 assembly seats. And in 2014, and in 2019, which was the last elections, it won 105 seats in an alliance with Shiv Sena. And we know that the alliance had a lot of problem over who will be the chief minister. And subsequently, Uddhav Thackeray broke away and joined hands with Sharad Pawar and Congress, which was unthinkable at that time, but it happened. And since then, we have seen BJP, wreaked vengeance rather by breaking both NCP as well as Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena first and later NCP. But the question has been asked, what was the need to even get Ajit Pawar to their side? It was not necessary, because Ajit Pawar has not exactly added to NDA's glory in Maharashtra. And in 2024, what we have seen is BJP won only 9 Lok Sabha seats. Eknath Shinde's party won 7 Lok Sabha seats, and NCP only won 1 seat. And besides, the NDA found itself in deep waters in Marathwada as well as in Vidarbha. All these regions, where they thought they could benefit, like for instance, Marathwada. BJP thought taking in a personality like Ashok Chavan will bring up, will change fortunes, in the sense they will get Maratha support in Marathwada region. But that did not happen. In fact, they lost in a number of seats in Marathwada region. That support did not come. So this time, you see, what is going to happen is there are 288 assembly seats in Maharashtra. So they have to start planning from right onwards. And already the Maratha agitation is now coming back to full gear again. That activist is on fast, and there is another OBC agitation to counter that. And Devendra Fadnavis, in fact, was a factor who played an important role in this formation of this Maha government. Now he has decided to take a back seat because everybody is blaming him, Devendra Fadnavis. In fact, he wanted to quit, then he was told to stay on. I think eventually he may not play such a big role in the assembly elections, though he will stay in the state seat. He has been asked to stay put till the assembly elections get over. The elections could be held in October. The monsoon will get over by September. Then in October, you could have the assembly elections in Maharashtra, sir.
Who would be the face of Maharashtra state BJP, sir, in case Fadnavis takes a backseat?
Well, they will have to fight elections under Eknath Shinde, sir, because within the because there has to be a Maratha face. That's very important. And Fadnavis' problem is he's not a Maratha. And the accusation is that he did not ensure the full implementation of Maratha quota. Though Eknath Shinde and Fadnavis worked out some formula and all that, but that did not help. So I don't think he can again lead the BJP. I mean, lead the Maha alliance. Though he will remain in the seat, he's seen as the backbone of this alliance involving Eknath Shinde as well as Ajit Pawar. Now, as far as Ajit Pawar, sir, looks like the strategy will be to see that BJP and Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, part with more seats for NCP. because there is a grouse that they were not allowed to contest many Lok Sabha seats. Of course, that would have still been a disaster if you see what has happened. They contested 6 seats and they have just won 1 seat. So I don't think that NCP could have, I mean, Ajit Pawar's NCP could have contested more seats. So there is a problem of leadership. On the other hand, Maha Vikas Aghadi, working on this factor, the sympathy factor, as you mentioned, both Sharad Pawar remains the tall figure for the opposition alliance, and you have Uddhav Thackeray, who has gone about campaigning, and of course, some BJP leaders try to make some friendly noises, saying that Uddhav Thackeray campaigned hard in this election. That's why Shiv Sena has done well and all that. They try to, but at least from what Uddhav Thackeray has said today, that is on Saturday, there is no plan for him to change the alliance. He would rather go with that alliance because people have endorsed it. People have not given support to 𝗥𝙧𝙤𝙪 Shinde or to Ajit Pawar. So that alliance is very formidable. So for the BJP, it is very, very important that in Maharashtra, if at all they don't manage to win the elections, this alliance does not win the election, at least the seats should be a decent number. They cannot afford to appear to have collapsed. That's very important in Maharashtra. Sir, in Jharkhand, you see, in Jharkhand again the problem is BJP did well in non-tribal seats, but they lost 5 tribal seats. There are 40 Lok Sabha seats in Jharkhand, and this time they have got 3 less than what they got last time. Last time their score was 12 out of 14 Lok Sabha seats. This time they have got 9. But then they have lost, they have not done well in the tribal seats, particularly because of the arrest of Hemant Soren. A narrative was made out that the BJP is against tribals. And that has caused them. So that alliance, BJP and All Jharkhand Students Union, won 9 out of 14 seats. Now, in the assembly elections, you are going to see a third front also, which will be led by one Jairam Mahato, who is coming up with the campaign, Jharkhand for 𝗤𝙗𝙤𝙁. His philosophy, his political approach is more akin to Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. So he could cut into further into the tribal votes of BJP in many places. That's a challenge in Jharkhand. And Haryana, sir, Haryana is, it has to, there are 90 Lok Sabha seats, 90 assembly seats. It's a small state. There were 10 Lok Sabha seats, and this time, Congress has gained the number of seats. It was not like last time. And the problem is BJP, worked on an alliance which was to strengthen the non-Jaat parties. Are these parties which are rather who are seen as parties backed by non-Jaat communities, and the Congress was made out as the pro-Jaat party because of the leadership also. Bhupendra Singh Hooda, his son Dipendra Singh Hooda, and others. Now this time, I think BJP is going to see that there is a consolidation of Jaat votes totally in favor of Congress. And that is something the BJP has to counter it by ensuring they retain the non-Jaat votes, but also see that there is no further erosion of Jaat votes from the BJP side. That's why they had a post-poll alliance with this Dushyant Chautala, his JPP. But Jharkhand is Haryana is a very important state, in the sense closer to Delhi. And if the Lok Sabha election results are an indication, the challenge is severe. Now, apart from Haryana, Maharashtra and Jharkhand, there are going to be by-elections in Uttar Pradesh, sir, by-elections to assembly vacancies. Because in this election, a number of MLAs contested the parliamentary elections. So you may see at least 10 assembly by-elections in Uttar Pradesh in the next couple of months. Now, this is an opportunity for the BJP to show that what happened in the Lok Sabha election was just one kind of a thing, and it is not an indication of any erosion of BJP support or slide in the popularity of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. So the seats that are going to fall vacant, for instance, Akhilesh Yadav has won from Kannauj, so he will give up his Karhal assembly seat. Similarly, the Samajwadi Party candidate Avdesh Prasad, who made headlines for winning from Faizabad, which is where the Ayodhya is located, Faizabad Lok Sabha seat, he'll be vacating his Milkipur assembly seat. That's the second seat. And BJP can show, look, that within the Faizabad, they are back in action. And it is not that Ayodhya has been lost to Samajwadi Party. So that Milkipur seat is very important. Of course, there are other seats like Kateri seat, Kundarki seat, then there is a Kair seat, then Fulpur, and then Ghaziabad, Mirapur. There are about 9 seats, and there is one seat which is vacant because that is Shisha Mo seat, which is falling by vacant because the Samajwadi legislator has been sentenced to 7 years rigorous imprisonment for being accused of an case of arson. So that seat will also fall vacant. So all total 10 assembly seats are up for grabs in Uttar Pradesh, where the BJP can show that it is still the master of ceremonies in Uttar Pradesh. And the kind of setback they have got in Uttar Pradesh in the Lok Sabha elections can somewhat be minimized or somewhat be shown as that they have not, it's not going to remain forever. That kind of a gain that the Samajwadi Party and Congress got. Sir.
Shekharji, before we go to the second topic, I just want to add one thing, sir. See, every assembly election also is now becoming like a Modi versus the other side, because there is no face of the BJP party in many of these states. The leadership hasn't been taken from inside. It has not grown up. This has been essentially being helicoptered in people. Even Fadnavis he was opposition leader, of course, before that. But Fadnavis actually still is okay because he has had experience in Maharashtra politics. But you see so many chief ministerial candidates from out of nowhere, they pluck somebody and say, this shall be your chief minister. So somewhere, isn't this actually going to make the job of Amit Shah and Modi harder? Because there is nobody, so supposing somebody is sick for 2 months, whatever be the reason, four elections will come through that time, sir. And it's not a good state of affairs to be in. Why is the BJP ignoring simple principles of democracy? You say Congress is this, Congress is that, but why are you not yourself following some of the democratic rules? Let the elected assembly members come together and choose who should be the leader for the party. Why is this being not taken up, sir? I mean, if you're not even sure of your own people, I'm just trying to understand why this is happening today, Shekharji.
Sir, the problem is Modi still remains their star campaigner. He's the person who brings votes. Even if they had a democratic way, I mean, the way you are suggesting that MLAs pick a leader, they can't pick a leader because it's driven by faction A. B, it is a Modi who is getting them elected, whether it is state election or Lok Sabha elections. Now, this time, a lot of questions are being asked because BJP's majority could not achieve majority in Lok Sabha. So, sir, so long, Modi was delivering them votes and was able to help the party in the assembly elections or Lok Sabha elections, then I don't see questions being asked. And the other thing is, sir, since BJP depends on Modi, that's a factor that they cannot simply allow it to be not used. I mean, they have to use Modi. But the problem is, I think, what the big lessons that are coming is, Modi can campaign, they can use Modi, I mean, they can do, but when it comes to selection of candidates, perhaps they could listen more and not go, and central leadership particularly should not go by hunches. Despite not only several sitting MPs were repeated, I'm talking of Uttar Pradesh. Some of them have done 10 years and no record to boost. and they were hoping, they would ride on Modi's popularity and come back. Now, 10 years is a long time for a member of Lok Sabha, sir. And if you cannot, you know, be seen as a person who is doing a lot of work in the constituency, I mean, unless they want you back again, no matter which party you belong to, but on the basis of your track record, if they don't want you, it doesn't matter. Even Modi campaign said that's a lesson coming here. Sitting MPs getting repeated, and then new MPs, new candidates where they were fielded. Even those new candidates have not done well in Uttar Pradesh. And also, sir, you have to be on alert about the campaigns that your opposition is mounting. By the time BJP leadership woke up to the fact that this message, that BJP is out to undo reservation for Dalits, that just spread like fire, and still one is not able to understand why it spread like fire in Uttar Pradesh, not in Madhya Pradesh. Some people are trying to analyze it this way: why did the tribal voters did not get affected by this campaign, this false campaign? I'm calling it false because it's not conceivable that why would BJP want to do away with reservation? BJP has mandalized everything. BJP has more members from the scheduled tribe and scheduled caste communities representing in parliament. More candidates have been filtered by BJP belong to these categories. Why would the BJP do away with the reservation? That was a false campaign. But by the time it spread, now why did it spread? Did it spread because some loose remarks made by some BJP leaders who talked of we need 400 par because we want to bring big changes? And that was misconstrued or misinterpreted or deliberately made out as wanting to change the constitution, do away with quota. Whatever it is, but it spread. And by the time they realized it has spread, then they started talking about it and people believed. And Dalits believed more than the tribals. And some sociologists are trying to analyze that the tribals are a different category, and the impact of Hindutva on tribals is on a different scale compared to Dalits, and Dalits feel more insecure and can easily be persuaded by such campaign. So some sociologists are even examining this point as to why such a narrative, and I want to repeat, a false narrative, affected the Dalit voters more in Uttar Pradesh rather than tribal voters in, say, Madhya Pradesh or in Orissa or any other state. There, none of them ever thought. In fact, a lot of ground reporters, sir, who were asking the voters, whether Dalit voters or tribal voters or everybody, do you really think Modi would do away with the reservation? They said no. How can that be changed? But still, what we see was Mayawati's strategy of keeping silent and basically telling our voters that if you want to vote for opposition, you can vote. And BJP did not realize that Mayawati's voters would also go and vote for Samajwadi Party Congress alliance. A lot of things happened on the ground because of the campaign, and BJP was not aware or reacted too late. That is one. Number two, they repeated a number of candidates whom political wisdom suggested that you should not repeat them. And three, the new candidates that the BJP fielded were not some great candidates either. And the cocksureness of people who were sitting in Delhi, though of course they were also touring, that their hunch tells, okay, we can repeat this candidate or we can put this candidate. That just backfired. That is where they should have listened more to the state leadership. Because we know for a fact now, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had conveyed to the BJP central leadership, look, don't repeat these people. And some of the candidates you have finally announced are not the really good ones. Sir, some kind of, I feel, over concentration and selection of candidates in the name of high command. Sir, high command was a euphemism for the power that was exercised by Indira Gandhi, then later by Rajiv Gandhi, then subsequently Sonia Gandhi, now Rahul Gandhi. Party high command, party high command. We journalists used to say party. Basically, it's a euphemism for the family. But in the BJP also, this high command culture has come in full swing. Kendriya Netrutva, central leadership will decide, central leadership will decide. Now, when you take so much of onus on yourself, though there is a process where candidates are recommended by the state committees, then the central election committee sits over the name, then the BJP's research division gets inputs from various sources. When so many exercises there, then how do you end up choosing people who lose despite Modi's popularity? So that also raises question as to what is the mechanism of choosing candidates. Or to put it very bluntly, sir, do leaders like Amit Shah have a greater say in everything? Because Amit Shah was a person who was looking into details, not the Prime Minister. Do people like Amit Shah or BJP President JP Nadda, they had a greater say in selection of candidates than the chief ministers like Yogi Adityanath? This is a very open question. So this whole high command business and did Prime Minister rely too much on the judgment of election management of Amit Shah? Because he led the detailed planning to Amit Shah. So these questions are coming up, sir, and they're coming up more openly.
Sir, I go back.
Sir.
Sorry, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Sorry, sir. Finish. I thought you had finished your thought. Yeah.
Sir, here only, what has happened is when other day, where RSS Sarsamchalak Mohan Bhagwat ji was addressing people who had completed a course. The Sangh has regular, what is called 𝗼𝗚𝗃. They have these periodic training sessions, where he was addressing a training session where he said, look, every Swayamsevak should be above ego and should serve for the cause of the nation without getting into an ego trip. And those comments, they came after the results, June 4th results. Obviously, they were interpreted as laced with meaning for the Prime Minister, for the BJP, maybe even for the Congress. When he talked of the fall in the standard of debate, fall in the standard of campaign, and that your political opponents are not your enemies. They may be your political rivals, but they are not your enemies. And this much of benefit of doubt and this much of room should be there, that both opposition and the ruling side, both are speaking for the cause of the nation, for the development of the nation, for solving the problem of the nation. Ideally speaking, they could differ, but finally the results come, they should sit down and then do the task on hand, which is the development of the country. So this is very ideally said, but then Congress never accepted the mandate of 2014. They never accepted the mandate of 2019. Now they think that the 2024 mandate is no mandate. And in fact, what has shocked Congress is how come Modi is back as PM? Why did the arithmetic completely, betray us? How did the NDA manage to cross the halfway mark, if not the BJP? And what has happened to us? But of course, it doesn't matter. So what they are now doing is they have started predicting rather, say that, this will not last for 5 months, will not last for 6 months. This will fall next year because there are going to be elections in Bihar. And this will fall after the elections in Maharashtra, Jharkhand and Haryana, end of this year. They have been predicting now, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 also, everybody. Because they have also realized that despite such a severe campaign by Rahul Gandhi and others against the Prime Minister, Modi is back as Prime Minister. Yes, with reduced strength. Rahul achieved his target of cutting the number of seats for BJP. But that did not really benefit the Congress. Of course, now they are all in a great euphoric mood that, they have achieved something. But if you look at the statistics, which Sachin will now show on the screen. The figures that they have got this time, sir, is actually the third lowest, the third time they have got the lowest. Because what did we see in 2014? Because in 2014 they got only 44, and in 2019 it became at 2014 was the lowest. They were 44 only. Because in 2009 they had got 206 seats and they formed the government for the second time, UPA 2. But in 2014 they got only 44 seats. In 2019 they got 52 seats, and now they have got 99 seats. And these figures, and also that of their supporting parties, in all these three elections has been far lesser than what the BJP got. I mean, as a party, then also NDA. So, question is Congress celebrating too much, or simply gloating in the fact that they cut the figure of Modi and Modi could not get majority on its own? That itself is a big achievement. Because if you look at all the figures, sir, in 1951-52, they got 364 seats. That is Nehru's first election. At 57, it became 371 seats. 62, 361 seats. 67, that's an election where Indira Gandhi was in full form. And that they got 287 seats, above the halfway mark. And 1971 was the best election for Indira Gandhi. She got 352 seats. 77, when Indira Gandhi, in a post-emergency election, she was down, but she did not go below 154 seats. Congress' worst moment was post-emergency elections. And there also, Congress scored 154 seats. Then 1980, Indira Gandhi bounced back after the collapse of the Janata experiment. And what did we see? Congress winning 353 seats. Of course, in 84, when she was assassinated, and in the elections that were held, they scored that massive 404. That was the highest score of the Congress party. Then by 89, when Rajiv Gandhi was leading the party and the government, and the elections were held, because of controversies over the purchase of Bofort's gun, the 𝗼𝙬𝗫 guns, we saw Congress figures coming down to 197. Even then, more than what the Congress has got now. When that was also Rajiv Gandhi's lowest moment. Then what did we see in 1991? Post Rajiv Gandhi's death, Rajiv Gandhi died after 3 phases of elections were over. Congress won 232 seats. This time, I mean, that is a time when Narasimha Rao headed the minority government. And Modi has got 240 seats. BJP has got 246. And with NDA allies, it has become 295. Now, Narasimha Rao, with 232 seats, led the minority government. Then, over a period of time, assisted by leaders like Dr. Subramanian Swamy, his government started acquiring maturity. Some parties started supporting, some parties broke, some of them joined the Congress. It was done its own way and over a period of time. That is the time people said they were actually, I mean, it looked like horses were being bought and sold. You had Ajit Singh, you had Ram Yadav, and so many people who just came over and provided that thrust that the Narasimha Rao needed. Sir, 96, when Narasimha Rao led the party to a defeat, the Congress had 140 seats. And 98, between 96 and 98, Congress backed a United Front government. First there was 𝗼𝗂𝗍𝗫, then 𝗖𝗑𝗍 Gujral. In 98, they got 141 seats, which means from 96 to 98, Congress just added 1 seat. And then that was the time when Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji formed the NDA-led coalition. And you saw that they put all those contentious issues, 370, Ram Temple, Uniform Civil Code, they were all put at the back burner. Sir, in 99, the Congress seats went down. It went down to 141 and BJP seats increased to 189. Now, then in 2004, Congress had only 145 seats and Sonia Gandhi managed to cobble up a coalition. Dr. Manmohan Singh became Prime Minister. And 2009, it increased to 206 seats. The point we are looking at is that despite Congress feeling so great about this 99, even in the periods they have led minority governments or they have led coalition government, their own figures were no great. Look at 2004. 2004, it was only 145 seats. And then in 2009, it was 206 seats. After left withdrew support, and it was only 206 seats. And Modi ji, one cannot forget the fact, after 30 years, led the BJP to form the first government which had full-fledged majority. And the same thing happened in 2019. It's in 2024 this problem has come, where they have got only 240 seats. Now, why we are looking at these figures is to show that is the Congress being very overconfident. Now, I hear Rahul has instructed every state party leaders, state units, to actually, whether they are in alliance or they are not in alliance. Like, for instance, in Tamil Nadu, sir, 𝗤𝙁 leaders are already talking of holding yatras in all the 234 assembly constituencies. And apparently, they are under instruction from Rahul Gandhi that they should revive the Congress party. And this yatra formula, this padayatra formula, is something Rahul feels has worked because he undertook 2 padayatras. So why not yatra in every assembly segment in all states? And they have already decided they will do it in Uttar Pradesh, which means they feel very confident that that next elections, and they are expecting it earlier than scheduled in 2029. They are expecting it in a couple of years or even earlier. So all that has happened is Congress has won 99 seats compared to 52 in 2019. But they already see a pan-India revival because they have won seats in Uttar Pradesh also. And there is a big time jubilation. Well, it is their moment. They can, have the celebrations. But is it enough? Number one. And number two, if they are going to assume that the BJP's condition is static, or that BJP's popularity will not go go up again, or Prime Minister Modi will not start working to again build up his popularity and his acceptability and his style of governance, to improve his style of governance, improve the style of delivery, I think they would be mistaken. Because I have always held, sir, Modi is a great learner. And though he is keeping silent on the results and he hasn't spoken anything, accepting that he has conveyed that he has accepted the verdict as it is, this verdict requires a coalition government. This verdict requires building up of consensus on many issues. That he is willing to do it and he has embraced it. Because he also said, in his acceptance speech, when he was elected leader of the NDA parliamentary party, he said, look, as a chief minister, I have been witness to coalition government in Delhi. And I have seen through the era of 𝗤𝙗𝙗 from 98 to 2004. So I know the difficulties in running a coalition, some compromises that the BJP has to make. But we will have to accept the mandate that has come, which means Modi is willing to do his best to see that the coalitions run. But will that prevent him from taking bold decisions? Sir, on that, my fingers are crossed, because Modi is capable of doing the things which Narasimha also did. Despite being a minority government, he brought biggest reforms, economic liberalization of 1991. Despite Congress, as we saw the figures, can you imagine, sir? Congress in 91 had only 230 seats, which is 8 less than what the BJP has now. It was a minority government. But despite that, you had one of the biggest reforms taking place. Yes, there was compulsion. things were so bad. After you had VP Singh government and Chandrasekhar government, our balance of payments were very bad. And the reforms happened not because that was our first choice, because we were left with no choice. And Narasimha Rao had to very painfully explain to his party leaders and others, look, we have to do it. There is no other alternative. There is no other option. Despite being a minority government, Narasimha Rao did it, sir, and he managed to carry his party. He managed to carry the opposition of the day. And that is, of course, the very 91 he came, 92 he faced a political problem because the Babri Masjid was demolished. Despite that, he went on pursuing the liberalization on the economic side, and politically his problems increased. That's another story. So therefore, Modi is not going to simply feel that his hands have been tied up. Rather, he will go ahead, and all the plans we have discussed, they are working on plans. Each ministry will start working out the goals, those 100-day plans. The budget, when it will be presented, it will see new thrust areas on the basis of these 100-day plans. All that is going to happen. So the question, can the Congress take it so lightly? Can the Congress assume that BJP is gone? And Congress, can it start counting days when this government will fall? I don't think those are going to happen easily, because this mandate is to make the government run, and Modi will run it. Now, why would Chandrababu Naidu or Nitish Kumar pull the rug? What do they gain? Is there an alternative arithmetic ready? No. Even if, sir, BJP doesn't do well in Maharashtra, doesn't do well in Jharkhand, doesn't do well in Haryana, there will be huge tremors in BJP. But that will not lead to the collapse of Narendra Modi government, because these are assembly elections, and these elections for election of a local government, the local state government. And I expect Modi to ride through this political storm, either of these three, and then next year you have got other more elections, or even these by-elections in Uttar Pradesh I mentioned, 10 by-elections. That could be seen as a popularity test for Yogi Adityanath. Some seats were held by BJP, some seats held by Congress. And it will be Yogi Adityanath's task to see that all those seats are up for grabs for the BJP. That's the thing, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I think I want to wait and see how this plays out, because using the same set of people and doing things differently requires a fair amount of arm wrestling, in my opinion. And it's not easy to do that. You are better off assigning somebody the responsibility of, for the defeat. And that way everybody understands, yeah, this person worked it, and this is the person who has to be eased out. And they have not done that. And I'm not privy to the inner thinking and workings of BJP. Certainly, if you look at Congress, right, they are not training their guns at BJP. They are training their guns at RSS. And RSS is quiet. Right hand doesn't know what the left hand does. And I think that should be the way it should be, my opinion, sir. They should not use any media to do, put spotlight on them, because they have been victims of fake narratives right from 1947. So I think this is very unfortunate. These are very selfless people. I tip my hat to them. And it's just unfortunate that somebody who wants to do good is actually the one who is the most attacked. And anyway, this is the way it is, and it would behoove BJP to listen to RSS. Sir, one thing that you said, you actually confirmed what I was saying, in the sense, if the chief minister of a state is helicoptered in or chosen from the think tank, and if that's a bad choice, then if they are asked to come up with a candidate for the next elections, there could be bad decisions from the state instead of at the center. Right now, what we are saying in UP is that the choice of the candidate was poorly done because it was the center who chose the seats. Right. So somewhere this has to have clarity, sir. They have to have clarity. I am not saying one way or the other is right or wrong. I just feel that something has to change within their functioning that will make all this stuff easy. How many hours in a day can Modi work, sir? He's now 73. He's not 63. Age does take a toll. You have fewer hours in a day to be at your best peak thinking efficiency. It's not easy, sir. So anyway, I wish them best of luck. I wish they would do things a little differently. I mean, for them, at the bare minimum, I was expecting that they would have a daily press conference. Just say what your government did. Don't take pot shots. Today we did this. This yojana is being unveiled. This is how it is. This is the timeline. These are the benefits that will be accruing, and have everything lined up. This is the website. People can go and click on this to start applying for it.
Sir, they have done a lot of that. And in fact, throughout the year, the opposition here was there is too much of information, download. Upload and download both, saying government has done this, government has done that. In fact, the entire government machinery, the private news media, everyone has been, there is a lot of it. But finally, during the elections, the way certain narrative was sought, they were too late in trying to counter it. They could not do it. Sir, now I want to look at the third question as to what is exactly the nature of the BJP RSS relationship. The last 1 week since we, even in the midst of the elections, you had BJP President JP Nadda saying that BJP is no longer dependent fully on RSS functionaries to do their bit, and then that we have grown, and a lot of Nadda said was factually correct, because there are people who are looking after the organizational aspect who have been loaned from RSS. Rather, RSS has sent them on deputation to BJP to do political work of the BJP, because they don't encourage people doing political work within the RSS. RSS has its own agenda, which they have their own plans. They have some key areas. They have more than 60,000 shakas to handle. They do that. But those who are on deputation to the BJP as organizational secretaries in the states and at the center, they are the ones who are doing the political work. And since the BJP has grown, it has got leaders coming from ABVP, it has got people coming from other parties, and then it is also working with some allies. So there is a huge thing happening. Now, this comment of Nadda, within the RSS, the feeling is that this was not necessary. But why did Nadda say this? Was he told by someone higher up to say this? Or is it because there was a feedback that RSS functionaries were not doing enough to spread the good word for the Prime Minister in their own capacity? So normally RSS runs the campaign on, particularly at the time of election, for 100% voter participation, to show that they are apolitical when it comes to the elections per se, though they largely support the BJP's political agenda. But at the time of elections, their campaign is limited to saying, let more people come to vote. Let there be 100% voter participation. That is all they do. They don't do much. They don't distribute BJP handbills or notices or anything. They don't go around sticking BJP posters. No, they don't do that. There is a BJP Karyakartas to do that, BJP organization to do that in different states. But I think somewhere along in the last 7-8 years, I must say, at least 6-7 years, the RSS, they tend to feel that the government of Prime Minister Modi has not been looking to BJP, to the RSS for any input, or the BJP leadership is not looking for inputs. Though every Vijayadashmi address of the RSS Sanchalak has message for the government and for the general polity, whether it's relating to rural economy, to development of, or the distress, the agrarian distress. Lot of issues are flagged by the RSS chief in every Vijayadashmi address, and also the social challenges, because RSS looks at politics from the social prism. How are things in the society and what is affecting society? Even the RSS chief comment on Manipur, I spoke to some RSS people to find out what did exactly the Mohan Bhagwatji mean when he said that Manipur has festered, the violence in Manipur has been going on for the last 1 year? Because RSS concern on Manipur is rather on a larger scale. It is worried about religious conversion. It is worried about demographic changes that have happened because of illegal migration from Myanmar or Bangladesh or from other states. And it is also concerned by the fact that Manipur, particularly the Imphal Valley, Meiteis, and how they are increasingly feeling beleaguered by these people coming from Myanmar, particularly Kuki militants, and the impact of drug trade, the illegal drug trade in Manipur on Manipuri youth. These are some large issues they have always flagged. I don't think Congress will endorse those lines because Congress concern is entirely limited to cookies. But this election in Manipur, this time, Lok Sabha election, both the seats, the inner Manipur and outer Manipur, both were won by the Congress. Which in a way saying that local people are not happy with BJP at all. I mean, they feel that BJP government there has failed them. Otherwise, how would the inner Manipur and also the outer Manipur, that is the Imphal Valley as well as the hills, will vote against the BJP? Their concern is that. But at the same time, sir, too many people are reading that, the RSS and BJP are at loggerheads. I don't think it is like that. We are reading too much because some thoughts had to come out, and probably this is the way of letting the steam out within the BJP as well as in RSS as to deficiencies that they have noticed in the BJP style of functioning or the government style of functioning or the leadership approach to feedback. Because increasingly the feeling was the government or the Prime Minister were not getting the right kind of feedback, even from within the party. When you have a powerful leader like Modi, what happens? Feedback gets affected. People don't tend to come and tell you the negative things. And so consequently, what happens is you don't get to do corrective steps. Because the fear is, if I were to carry the a negative information, the medium becomes a message and the messenger gets affected. So therefore, that happens in any large organization where if the top bosses are seen as people who are not willing or not open to receive negative inputs, then people stop conveying the information. And that happens in political party also. So the same thing has happened. But at the same time, sir, we have seen in 2004, when BJP lost, the NDA government could not come back to power when everyone expected NDA would come back. 2004 elections, everybody expected NDA would come back. Even the exit polls had said, opinion polls had said that 𝗤𝙗𝙗 will come back. But that did not happen. At that time, the Sarsakulak of the RSS, then 𝗒𝙗𝙗𝙀 gave an interview. And where he said, look, it's time for Atalji and Advaniji to, to hang their boots and let the younger generation of BJP take over. So this is not the first time. Whenever there is a setback for the BJP, the noises within get louder. The dissent within gets louder. People start conveying what they could not convey when they felt that BJP is in a very formidable position in power. That is a deficiency that the BJP must address. BJP leadership must address. That they must be in a position to receive feedback. And they must act upon the feedback. Like in this case, there was a feedback by some of the candidates you have fielded are no good. Whether they are new or whether you are repeating sitting MPs, they are not doing as good. That is one. And the second thing, sir, I still feel, whatever that has appeared now, I think this will all subside and RSS and BJP will get back to doing whatever they were doing. Perhaps there will be more inputs, and then this current thing could impact the selection of the next BJP president. Nadda will turn it, he was already on an extension, his tenure will come to an end. Probably in a couple of months, the party will make up its mind as to who should be the next president, who will face all these election challenges that we have discussed. And also the fact that since they have lost out on Dalit votes, in a state like Uttar Pradesh, they will try to see that their social message goes in their choice of the new president. And it could be a combination of a Dalit leader and a women leader, or a tribal leader and a women leader. Some social message has to be there. They select, and at the same time, whoever is chosen must have some organizational capacity. Because BJP president's role is basically an organizational role. So this is also, so I feel that RSS will get back to giving more inputs and trying to have a greater say in the whom BJP chooses as its next president. Sir. So you are on mute.
Thank you, sir. Let's take some questions. Please, I request you to keep the answer short because we have a few questions and running up against 1 hour. Go ahead, please. Veer, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Ramnathan ji, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Raja Bodapati, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Shashi Kumar ji, thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Venkat Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, in the midst of electoral shock, was a controversy by Indresh Kumar damaging? Doesn't it widen mindsets? Is withdrawing the comments notwithstanding? That is after the election, right? Not in the middle.
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry, electoral shock. Got it.
Yeah.
My bad. Sir, go ahead, sir.
Now, Indresh Kumar, the way he said it, that, I mean, he amplified further what Mohan Bhagwat ji had put it rather in between lights, manner. He said those who were arrogant, they got only 240 seats. And those who did not accept the Ram temple and those who violate the faith of the people in the Ram temple, they did not even get major numbers to form the next government. In a way, both got punished. Sir, generally this election is one election, which I always, to put it in a very crude way, जिसकी जितनी लंबी पूंछ थी वो कटी. Those whose tails were longer, those tails were cut, because that is a kind of a mandate, an autocorrect mandate. In a sense, it's a message to everybody. No matter what Rahul Gandhi's campaign, yet people did not see as Rahul Gandhi as the next prime minister. People did not see his leadership as the one who can lead the government, lead this country. People have not come to that conclusion. At the same time, they were not happy with where things were happening under BJP dispensation. But at the same time, their faith in Prime Minister Modi had not lessened. They were unhappy with certain functional difficulties and functional problems, but they were not willing to give up on Prime Minister Modi. That's why BJP and NDA got a kind of arithmetic to form the next government. So that way, this is, but at the same time, what is the need for airing these views in public? How does it help by airing these views, unless you feel you cannot air it before the BJP leaders? Of course, there has been counter questions that Indresh Kumar has been leading what is called the Rashtriya Muslim Manch, which is an arm of the RSS, which is constantly working towards reaching out to Muslim voters. So the counter is Indresh Kumar was supposed to ensure that more and more Muslim voters accept BJP, accept the Sangh, but that has never happened till date. Though the Rashtriya Muslim Manch has been very active, they have not been able to break the jinx. That still a large section of Muslim voters do not prefer BJP. They go for the party which they feel can defeat the BJP. That thing has not changed. And I don't see it changing in the future also. Because despite Prime Minister's efforts, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas, but some issues have come that do not, because nobody has complained of they being discriminated on the basis of religion when it comes to PM Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission, construction of toilets, Shauchalaya. Nobody ever says that they were discriminated because they belong to a particular religion. But the fact is, there is a gap between the BJP and the Muslim voters. That has never been bridged. Though efforts were made, there was an attempt to even win over Pasmanda Muslims. the most backward among the Muslims, but it has not worked. And this time with campaign on OBC list being diluted to include Muslims, which was one of the main thrust of PM's campaign, that left very little scope for any BJP, for any Muslim voter to think of voting the BJP. Sir.
Thank you, sir. We need to keep our answers a little bit short, sir, because we are running up again. We just crossed 1 hour now. Thank you, sir. Subramanian wants to know, sir, is it not BJP had no clue? BJP had clue against 8,500 rupees per month campaign. Is it not going to repeat in state elections?
Sir, they knew this would, this will make some impact. But then Prime Minister is again coming with some counter offer. If they will give 8,500, I will give 10,000 rupees. That PM is against, because...
Sir, he is already giving so many. For 80 crore, he is giving free groceries, sir.
Sir, Congress was never sure it will form the government. They had to only say their original agenda was to lower the numbers of BJP. They succeeded with this campaign. And even where they have succeeded, people are queuing up before some Congress offices and some opposition offices. Give us the form, we'll fill it up, we want the money. Sir, those who are not going to come to power can promise the moon. Sir.
Next one, please. Shankar VK wants to know, will NDA capitulate by allowing caste and economic census, perhaps due to pressure by Nitish?
Sir, this is going to be a very, very serious issue, because BJP is not in favor of a caste census. That's largely because the RSS is also not in favor of a caste census. The reason being that this is only going to accentuate the caste divisions and caste identities and revival of caste passions. So I do not know what kind of a formula can be worked out unless BJP itself decides, okay, we will go for it. But the only problem is BJP has been to date holding the position that if you go for caste census, you are reviving the caste identity politics in a very big way. Already there is a caste identity politics. Which party does not give nomination to candidates on the basis of the caste impact and which leader belongs to which caste when it decides tickets for parliamentary elections or assembly elections? But this is a big question they will have to decide. And Nitish will not break away on this issue if the BJP... But anyway, that's a very big, tall call they have to take. Very important call. Sir.
Next one, please. Thank you, S.V. Ramani, for becoming a YouTube member. Shashi Kumar wants to know, does BJP still trust Muslim voters because the recent election has shown that government that they will always use the takia venom?
Sir, the attempt by the BJP to reach out to Muslim voters will not stop, because that's an ongoing campaign. They have to do it, because when triple talaq was abolished, there was very favorable response among the Muslim women towards the BJP. And you saw that the feeling was in 2019 elections that in many constituencies, Muslim women voted for the BJP. Sir. Next question, please.
Next question, please. Pawan Kishore wants to know, do you foresee any split to be engaged on Shinde Sena or Nitish Kumar by Congress? Can BJP not be back?
No, sir. I think at the moment, I don't see Congress in a position to, because the Congress just doesn't have the numbers to offer an alternative government. Even if Nitish were to be brought this side or Chandrababu to shift side, they would need another 20 APs more, and they don't have the number. Sir.
NN wants to know, will agitation for Maratha reservation cost BJP in Maharashtra because opposition is in a mood of promising moon to the voters?
Sir, the problem with BJP is they don't have a strong Maratha face to project in these elections. They have a lot of leaders belonging to Maratha community, but they don't have a very prominent face. And as I said, Devendra Fadnavis is seen more as a Brahmin leader, though he has been one of the very efficient chief minister when he was running the previous government, and as a deputy CM, he has been the fulcrum of this government. And this time the OBC votes are also going to play an important part, because there is a agitation among the OBC classes also, that inclusion of Maratha reservation should not affect the current reservation that is available to OBC communities in Maharashtra.
Nandini wants to know, this reset is much needed for BJP. I feel the party will now take inputs from RSS and hopefully get stronger. Our prayers are for this.
Definitely, Nandini ji. I mean, I also tend to think the way you put it. There will be soul searching among the BJP leaders and even among the RSS, because larger things are at stake for both sides. Definitely, correctives will come into shape.
Thank you so much, sir. And one small message from Mrs. Jaya Raman. I thought it was Jaya Raman, which is a male name. My bad. Thanks for correcting me, Mrs. Jaya. And Shekharji, yours is one of the most watched programs on PGurus channel. And from all of us, thank you so much, sir. We draw on your wide experience. Your ability to connect the dots is unparalleled. And you really carve out a very unique space in this whole spectrum, because we want to tell people what the reality on the ground is. Sometimes politicians say something, but they mean something, they do something completely different. All that more comes. Actually, I used one of your lines with Congressman Radhakrishnamoorthy, which is that don't believe a politician until he officially denies it. Because I know he's running for Senate. He's running for Senate from Illinois. But the problem is, becoming a congressman in an area where there are South Asians is a little bit easier than becoming a senator of a big state such as Illinois. Right? So he has to be very careful. He has to calibrate it. Do I have Obama's vote? He was an aide to Obama for many years. Do I have Obama's vote? Do I have the blessings of Michelle? This other guy, Rahm Emanuel. He's an ambassador somewhere else, but Rahm Emanuel is a guy who's shaped democratic politics in Illinois. So when I told him this, so I asked him, every time I have an interview, I ask him, are you running for Senate? And he'll say, I have no plans for running for Senate. Then I told him, don't believe a politician until he officially denies it. He laughed. So I do shamelessly copy some of these gems from you, sir. Thank you once again. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.